Welcome to the KDrama Show with Ashley and Kim.
That's Ashley.
That's Kim. We're here to recap and relive our favorite moments of My ID Is Gangnam Beauty with you, our listeners.
And we're going to jump right in, so this is your one and only warning. Spoilers ahead. If you haven't yet, go watch episode 6, and then meet back up with us so we can talk about this episode together. Today, we are in for continued drama and many confrontations between characters. We also get a glimpse into Hye-sung's history and learn that maybe good looks aren't the free pass to a simple life that MiRae kind of thought that they were. And MiRae's suspicion of Suwa is starting to grow, and it's so satisfying.
Yes,
and we end it all with KyungSeok and MiRae locked in the chem department, alone. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Welcome to the KDrama Show. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Kim.
We're here to unpack your all-time favorite Korean dramas and chat about all the reasons that we find these shows so charming.
And so addictive, and we know you do too, so settle in with some ramen and a boba tea while we dive into the K-Drama Show with Ashley and Kim. Okay, for our tea lovers, don't forget to go check out Ashley's segment over on our Instagram page at the K-Drama Show. She's going to be uploading there a lot more regularly.
Schedule allowing.
Schedule allowing. Yes, we do have other jobs, but rather than letting the tea run cold on our podcast, we decided that we would make it its own segment. It would kind of have its own sort of
avenue almost to just be just that and be on time.
So make
I
sure
might
you
be
go
a day
check that
behind, but it'll be closer than 2 weeks.
out. On a good day.
On a good day.
Let's be real here. So last time we talked about episode 5. So do you want to cover some of the main beats of that episode?
Sure. So in episode 5, MiRae goes to the perfume event with her best friend HyunJung, and is where they meet WooYoung and end up planning a day to hang out together at some point. At least he tries to. There's also the festival that is happening at the college. And so each department has their own little thing that they're supposed to do when they have decided that they're going to run a bar. And the, quote, pretty girls get recruited for serving. And it is very uncomfortable, and everybody's wishing it would be volunteer-based rather than the forced. Dong-boon sees an employee steal from Yoo-jin at his bar, and he doesn't believe her and ends up kicking her out, just accusing her of being obsessed with him, and instead finds out that he was very, very wrong. And we ended with the girls that were chosen to be the servers of the bar for their event in the uniforms that the guys have chosen, and they are all very uncomfortable as they are short skirts and their shirts expose their shoulders, and it's very...
That is a straight mini skirt.
Yeah.
That's not just short, it's a mini skirt.
I think we talked about, like, one, why are you making somebody wear that? Like, you're not a cheerleader. You shouldn't be wearing that type of outfit because you sign up to wear something similar to that.
And it's not, okay, when you're a cheerleader, there's an expectation of the uniforms you're going to be wearing. There was no expectation of this.
This was just very uncomfortable for all involved. Okay, episode 6.
Episode 6. So first, let's talk about the uniforms in Park YongCheol. Uniforms, scummy.
They were...
Suwa and the Sunbaes, both of them, scummy.
Oh, absolutely. Or even Jihyo a little bit, though. She was also kind of like...
She was, but she just does whatever Suwa does. And Suwa was like, I mean, if you want to be the one to change the uniforms, we can change it. And MiRae's like, why are you pinning this on me?
Good for MiRae immediately to be like, how dare you?
Yes.
I thought we all felt this way. You can't just
because they
pin
were
this on
all
me.
complaining about it, and I think that the other upperclassmen, the female upperclassmen, are just like, this is ridiculous.
This is wrong.
But Suha and Jihyo are obviously very excited about the attention
That they're going to receive.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Ugh.
we've all been in high school. We've all kind of, played that game a little bit of, it's cute and man, I have to wear it, I guess. I'll just go through the trouble.
It'll be okay.
But come on, we're young adults here.
Yeah, you're in college now.
Let's be adults about it. But
Well,
the Sunbaes, their reaction to it
was nauseating.
when he walks in and he's like, this is great, let me take a picture, and the angle that he takes that photo from.
He bends down with his phone and just...
Mini skirts.
I wanted to throw my computer.
I
was so mad.
I was about ready to commit an act of violence on Netflix, because not literally.
No, not really.
Please don't come after me.
But it was highly nauseating. But then the other guys joined in on that too. Mm-hmm. And just...
I think, though, just as bad as this whole situation are the people that, stayed silent about it, even though they were uncomfortable with what was happening. Because silence is permission for those people to be doing what they were doing.
Yeah, you didn't tell me I was wrong. You didn't say it was...
Especially the class president. Taeyong should have spoken up, immediately. Because he was like, this was not what I was expecting when I told you to get uniforms. And you could see it on his face.
Well, because they even said, yeah, we said that they would wear skirts. He's like, but those are short.
Yeah, those are...
that's not...
Yeah.
That's a little...
It was not what you
outside
implied it was going to
Mm-hmm.
be. So Park Hyung-cheol.
Last episode, I didn't realize who it was until you made me sit there and think about who he was.
Yeah.
He sucks.
Yes.
So
Yes,
hard.
He does.
And poor MiRae recognizes him and is just like, oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have to deal with him now. You treated me horribly in middle school. You called me names. And, you threatened me. But Suha and her fake little, oh, look, I made a new friend and I decided to invite them to, come to our little festival. And no.
For me, it's how calculated and manipulative she is about the whole situation. And you can see that she's doing it to try to read between the lines of their dynamic and see if there is a lie to be catching her in the act of, to be catching MiRae in the act of, right? Which was her whole MO for even engaging him in the first place on Instagram. But I hate how fearful MiRae gets of him as soon as she recognizes who he is.
And just turns around and is just like, oh.
Well, she's an adult now. She's made all of these friends, people who like her.
For who she is.
Yeah, and it doesn't have anything to do with her face or her status or anything like that. These are genuinely people that she's come to like who've come to like her. And she just immediately reverts back to middle school MiRae, who's afraid,
just be quiet,
lost her confidence, and is suddenly questioning who she is as a person again. But overall, this was just a mean girl move by Suha. I think this shows her hand the most out of all of the actions she's taken in the show so far.
Yeah.
Just as her being a popular mean girl kind of.
No, we are straight up being
Jerk.
Regina George, taking the burn book and making it all about you, and then taking it to the principal. Look, they wrote all these terrible things about me.
Well, and she wants MiRae to feel small. She's you've gotten a little too confident here. Let's bring you back.
Let me make sure that you get knocked down to the peg that you belong at.
Yeah, that I think you belong at. Yeah.
Not where you are attempting to be right now, because I didn't say that was okay.
Yeah, gross.
Ugh. Oh, I do also love that, changing, but Yujin, because KyungSeok has drug him to the event, and he's like, no, you're gonna go apologize if you feel this bad for, how you treated Sungbun and her, being no, you have a problem here.
Yeah.
And his apology was so cute.
Yeah.
Because he just is like...
Hasn't happened yet, but we get to that point.
Oh, dang it. Sorry, I'm like... It's crawled on me.
He does tell him, though, like,
you need to
go do this. And he's like, I don't know what to say. I just feel so bad. And he's like, okay, say that. We're going.
That right there. That's all you
Good
need.
enough. Let's get out of here. Junoflo and Tiger JK.
Oh. I called that. What, episode 2?
Yeah. Whenever it came about.
Whenever it came about. And I was like, I want them to collab, or at least meet, like, and I'm so glad it happened.
Yes.
But also, like, I wanted to die. It hurt. And HyunJung, you know, is definitely starstruck. Because, I mean, this is one of her favorite rappers.
Yeah.
And so, but I think she's also feeling very intimidated.
As you
should,
yeah.
Honestly, at this point. But then for her to be like, oh yeah, my other idol is Tiger JK, and he just walks out.
Yeah, I know.
I instantly went, oh, this is going to be so bad. Oh no.
It goes downhill from here.
I think she did really, she attempts to rap in the studio. And I think for it being her first time in the studio and not...
Yeah.
I'm sure for her, she's never actually been in that type of situation before.
Right.
Not actually being in a studio with the mic, with your headphones, like you're...
In front of your childhood, like, heroes.
Yeah, 2 of them, not just one.
Yeah.
2! Like, how intimidating would that be to be like, oh, I love to sing, and then you have Christina Aguilera walk in, and you're like...
I can't sing.
I don't know how to do that.
I forgot how to breathe.
Yep, that's all I got. Like, so I could only, like, it hurt,
I like
but
her song, though.
I felt it. Like, I was like, same. Yeah, her song was good.
It was fun. I tried to find it again, and I couldn't. Like, I'd listen to a studio version of that. She got a good flow. A Junoflo.
A Junoflo.
Just kidding. Okay, you ready for my deep dive?
Okay.
Or do you have more?
Oh, no, that's all I had for that one.
That's all you had? Okay.
For that one, yeah.
So, Junoflo.
Okay.
Obviously, real artist. Okay.
Same with Tiger JK?
31 years old, yes.
Okay.
So, they have actually collaborated in real life on a ton of projects.
Really? So, Junoflo and
Tiger JK.
Oh, okay.
A lot of them are, like, explicit, so I'm not going to play them for you or anything. But, so... Junoflo is a recording artist and music producer from LA, California. From recording raps in his bedroom to building a foundation and fan base once debuting in South Korea in 2016 to being the first Korean artist to ever perform at an NBA halftime show in 2019, Junoflo has established a global audience with his ability to seamlessly blend different genres such as hip-hop, R&B, and electronic music. He continues to push boundaries as a multifaceted artist and demonstrates versatility across various fields of art. So that's straight off of the Junoflo like artist page, right?
Well, that makes sense. I mean, even his little performance that they have in the show, like obviously, like this is something he does for a living. Yeah, in real life,
he's a real artist.
He's very good.
So Tiger JK is a Korean American rapper and producer featured on several like OSTs for K-dramas. I didn't recognize a lot of them.
Okay.
But his wife, named MiRae, has recorded songs for OSTs for shows such as Descendants of the Sun, Crash Landing on You, Hospital Playlist, Itaewon Class, and rookie historian Gu Hae-ryung, also featuring Cha-nu. Dude, I lost it. I thought that was so cool.
Amazing. Okay, of all those shows that you mentioned that his wife is, there's only 2 of them that I haven't seen.
Yeah, I know. I just kept scrolling through the list on Spotify, and I was like, girl, get it. I have seen so
That's
much
amazing.
of this. And it's not just like one song. It's like multiple songs on each soundtrack. So they're doing well for themselves.
Hey.
They are a power couple in the OST world, apparently. I did not know this until I did the research, but it's super cool.
That's cool.
So the actress who plays HyunJung, right? Her name is actually Min Do-hee, where she goes by Do-hee. That's her stage name.
Right.
She was flexing. So she is 29 years old and was part of the girl group called Tiny G, which debuted in 2012. She made her acting debut a year later in Reply 1994.
Okay, I have not seen that one.
Pull up your link, please.
Oh, okay. Come on, come on. Tap to unmute. Don't do this to me.
Turn it up, turn it up. She's the blonde.
Oh, she's adorable.
I know, isn't she cute?
Her in pigtails is adorable.
Okay. She's got a great voice. Is she not adorable?
I love it so much.
I was so tickled when I saw that. I knew that she was from a girl group. I just never really looked into what girl group she was from.
Well, now we're going to be adding that to playlists.
I know, it was
for
cute.
car rides.
Weirdest part of this whole encounter, though, all of this aside, we never hear from them again.
No! No!
I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but I felt like I needed to now before you got really invested in this storyline. It is never mentioned again. The entire show.
I'm gonna rage.
I knew you would. Because when you predicted that this would become a thing, I was like, I don't think she knows how little of a thing
That's
it's actually.
so sad. I feel like Reaper right now with the laundry basket, and I just want to throw it off the couch and just like...
There's some people that speculate that this was meant to be like a major storyline, like a B-plot that just got cut for the sake of time. Because they really invested a lot of effort into this.
To have like big names like that coming on.
The other theory is that the company just wanted to like name drop those two to give them exposure like in the K-drama world and to promote their projects.
You know what would have helped? Keeping it alive.
Okay, to be fair
a little
though,
bit longer.
There are so many B plots and C plots in this show. There was only so much they could do, and she does have her own like external B plot as well. So to give her two would have been probably a little too much.
A little much.
But
yeah, but for
it was a lot of fun.
And music being such a big part of like the beginning of her storyline, that makes me kind of sad that it doesn't kind of at least
stay
sort of continue of like, hey, yeah, I just got back from recording at the studio. I've been working with like, even if there could have been that, since I now know it's not.
I know, I'm sorry.
That's so sad.
Okay.
Okay.
Now that I've popped that bubble, should we move on to Confronting Park YongCheol?
Oh, yes.
This was kind of intense.
Poor MiRae. First of all, she's not feeling very good anymore. Already feels so uncomfortable with these outfits. And then now having to deal with, like, I would say nemesis, but, like...
Kinda.
Bully. I think bully would be the better term.
Yeah.
But now you have to deal with the person who bullied you. Probably one of the largest bullies of your growing up days.
Well, one of the most, like, pivotal, I think, because she confessed to him, essentially. She was like, here's a study guide. And he's like, you're an orc.
Yeah.
What a terrible way to reject somebody.
So horrible.
There are so many better ways, even if you don't like the person.
I'm okay, hey, thanks.
Say, I don't have a phone number.
I don't have a phone. But Sua just irks me anyway. We don't like her. But to purposely play that, and because, you know, YongCheol's like, oh, I think I went to school with somebody with that name. And
you can already see, like, the wheels are turning in his brain.
Like, I wonder who that might be. But I felt so bad for her because she's like, I need to take a break. Like, KyungSeok actually has shown up at this time and, like, offers to take over for her.
Right, because Yoojin went to apologize.
Yeah, Yoojin went to apologize. This is where I jumped the gun on that one.
Freaking adorable.
It was so cute. I'm so sorry.
I wish they would throw these two into a romantic arc.
They don't?
They do and they don't.
So it's just like one of those flirtation
It's
ships.
Again one of those things where they just kind of can't for the sake of time. But when he grabs her hands, she like sees stars and rainbows and puppies and butterflies, and it
because it's so cute. Because
the most adorable thing.
He keeps rambling and like apologizing, and she just like smiles, and he's like, "You smiled, like you've forgiven me, right?
Yeah,
like it's gonna be okay, right?" And she's just like, "Well, you
Just-
keep going, so
Just
I
keep
might as
being
well."
cute, and everything is forgotten.
So yeah, KyungSeok has offered to now take MiRae's spot serving, so she can at least have a breather. And the fact that Sua notices this and notices the kindness that KyungSeok has towards MiRae, yet again, she hates that so much. And for her to just drag MiRae over and be like, he says he knows a Kyung MiRae too, and forcing that to be a confrontation.
Yeah. Well, and
Is so horrible.
she's complaining about being tired, and like, kudos to KyungSeok. Even like the other classmates are like,
Good job.
manly man, he stepped up. They actually clap, and then
Doesn't
MiRae is
Iana like also like bring a case of water, and she's like,
she does eventually. But like MiRae is saying she's tired, and it's probably because Sua and Jihyul are literally doing nothing and sitting at the table with Park YongCheol, like talking to their friends. They've not moved for
like a while.
yeah. But she gets so excited to bring up the fact that KyungSeok and MiRae went to the same middle school together.
And then to point out to YongCheol who KyungSeok is, so he goes, "Oh yeah, I know him. I went to school with him." Like that.
Naturally bring it up. Yeah.
Oh, let me see how I can make that work.
But yes, Yena and the water. The casual somersault by, I can't remember his name right now, but by the Sunbae that tries to help.
That was
And she
fantastic.
booty bumps him out of the way. He's like, KyungSeok아.
The somersault.
Priceless.
The somersault was the highlight of that whole scene.
It really
was so
was.
good.
It was actually pretty, and he's on like cement too, so I don't, it's pretty impressive,
It was
honestly.
But yeah, there's the fact that YongCheol, he makes a comment that was so infuriating of like, "Oh, I should have been nicer to you if I knew you would have become pretty." No, you should just be nicer to people because they're also people.
I think the really cruel thing is that after all of this time, he still chooses to keep like that middle school mindset to belittle her for her looks, in spite of all of the other life they've lived since knowing each other, and never realizing that the reason that she felt the need to change was because of people like him, who could never like appreciate the other things that she had to offer as like a person. But the point where he asks MiRae if she still hates him, just to be able to point out the fact that she had a crush on him, and then could out her for being Kong Ork.
And then for his friends to jump on that and be like, "Oh, that's the orc?"
Because like at first they're like, "You're lying because she was just so pretty," and he's like, "No.
She
It's
was
the
not.
smuggest little look on his face too.
Ugh, infuriating. Like, I wanted to smack him so bad. But I loved that in this moment, MiRae finally, like, decides to stand up for herself
Yes.
and tell him, "You know what?
You're a garbage human.
Well, like, it is because of worthless jerks like you that I felt that I had to change. And you never grew up, and you're as worthless as trash."
I love that she reminds you. She's like, no matter how I may look on the outside, you will always be a garbage human. And then I love that just to drive that point home, KyungSeok walks over and goes, "You're a garbage human."
It was so good.
And then
Satisfying.
I know. But then since everyone else is looking down on him at this point, Sua then, after KyungSeok says something, jumps on the bandwagon to virtue signal, basically, that she's just a better person than Park Yong-jul.
Yeah.
Because she never comes to MiRae's aid until she
After.
sees KyungSeok say something.
Well, and then she tries to tell him, "Oh, you're a bad friend."
Girl, you brought him here for that exact reason.
They aren't friends, so you'd have to actually be friends at some point in time to be considered a good friend or a bad friend, and you're just a terrible person. So
Agreed.
But then for her to go apologize to MiRae and tell she had a prejudice against people who got plastic surgery and then has come to realize that maybe it's just because they might need it.
Mm-hmm.
It bothered me so much.
Well, even before she goes to apologize, she and Ji-hyo are just like, how much has she changed?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, they just want to know how ugly she used to be.
Recognize. Right. It's not from a place of, man, he went too far. It's from a place of, I wonder how ugly she actually was.
Mm-hmm. Why?
Why does it matter?
Who cares?
Yeah. But the apology is definitely to save face.
Oh, yeah. And it's not really an apology. It's, I'm saying I'm sorry, but, like, I still am totally judging you because you've done this, even though apparently you needed it.
Well, and she says, quote, I want to be better to you. I actually had a prejudice about plastic surgeries. Why would they want to become prettier than others that much? I thought that was too vain, but I realized that some people could be desperate for it, that some people might be in pain due to their faces. Who says that to people?
I don't know.
What the heck kind of apology is this? If you said that you had a prejudice against plastic surgeries, then realized that this was a shallow way for me to be thinking about people, that's one thing. But to say that you are no longer prejudiced because you simply chose to pity them instead is not losing your prejudice. Just saying.
Not even a little bit. It makes it worse, honestly.
That was typed in all caps, in case you were wondering.
I'm very impressed. Just like my rant mop.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, no, that was probably one of the most disgusting apologies that I've seen, like, in a, friendship setting. That was like, it was no.
It gets your blood boiling. That is for sure. But MiRae is no longer naive to it.
Yeah.
She's sitting here listening to this like, what are you saying to me?
That doesn't really make sense.
No.
At all. Like, why?
Yeah, the things coming out of your mouth, little sus there, sister. The HyunJung hears about this.
Best friend energy. She is, I love her.
Everybody needs a HyunJung in her life. But it basically just confirms her suspicions about Suah. She has always been suspicious of Suah from day one.
Yeah. Well, and I love that she will even call out YongCheol. Like, it doesn't matter who brought you to this. You decided to be a terrible person and continue to live in the past.
Yeah.
Instead of growing and being like, man, I shouldn't have acted that way.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I love, though, that she gets the hard evidence that Suah was the one who initiated contact with this guy rather than the other way around. As scummy as he is, I'm glad he was there.
Right.
To expose her.
Proving a point.
Yeah, exactly.
But then I love the next scene of, the girls have decided, like, we have to leave. I have to go to my part-time job. I have to do whatever. And so Sua's like, I have to leave. So she and KyungSeok walk around promoting the bar for the department. And Suah, again, is just trying to...
She's fishing.
Yeah, dig out more information and being like, wow, I can't believe he called her, an orc. How could anybody call a girl that? That's so mean. She couldn't have been that ugly. And I just love that KyungSeok just goes, she was cute.
This is so... double... There was like a double motive here. It was her trying to look like she's friends with MiRae. Or on the other side of that coin, she was trying to get KyungSeok to criticize her looks and be like, yeah, she wasn't the prettiest, but... And he just says she was cute.
She was cute.
She has no defense, or he has...
He's given her no ammo.
Exactly, yeah.
To continue to try and...
torment MiRae.
But I just, like...
But she also realizes...
That's kind of out of character for him.
Yeah, it is.
To be that...
Well, and I
blunt.
put, like, she basically realizes that this is, like, his first confession toward MiRae about his feelings.
And that's why I loved it so much. Because it was just like... Well, and he just deflates her balloon. And I'm sorry, every time her balloon gets deflated, it brings me a little bit of joy.
Keep me uppy.
Keep me uppy.
It brings me a little bit of joy. Oh, man. That was funny. But MiRae has agreed to see the CEO as she's leaving. We don't really know why yet, but up next, standing up to the Sunbaes. Second most satisfying scene in this entire episode.
It was beautiful.
It was. I will say the complaining by the Sunbaes feels a little bit over the top at sometimes, which I guess I can be grateful for that I've never actually had to deal with any of that in real life to where it seems realistic to me. I'm sure other people have different experiences, but I love that the girls finally rally and state like the injustice of their like personally angled criticisms, because they're not
blanket statements to everybody.
No, they're like, you need to lose weight.
Targeted.
You need longer hair. You need less of a boyish figure. What? Who says this to people? Who says this to people? Especially in college, when those people go from being like your classmates to your colleagues.
Yeah.
Because in college, there is that sense of we're going to work in the same industry together.
We have to do
going
things
to cross
together.
paths.
Yeah.
Therefore, I should probably leave a good impression with you in the long term.
Yeah, if we want to be able to do, projects in the future with whatever companies we're at.
You could be my boss someday.
Yeah. But I love that the girls individually call the boys out individually. Like, you said this to me. You told me, oh, I need to lose weight.
Yeah.
Oh, you need to do this. And you're like, you make me feel bad about myself. And like, oh, we're just trying to, for your health. I didn't ask for that. I did not ask for you to comment on my body or on my lifestyle.
Yep.
And they all just get up one by one, take off the apron, and...
Well, even Taehee's like, if we were to flip this around and start hurling these criticisms back at you, you would not stand for that.
You wouldn't be able to handle it.
And they're like, don't twist our good intentions. And it's like, no, stop commenting on people's bodies.
Not your business.
Not in this context, at least. I love, though, that Wonho and Sungwoon, even they leave with the girls. They're just like,
yeah, we're
have
out.
a good night.
We're not part of this anymore.
Bye. But Taeyong seeks out Taehee. Taeyong, the class president, seeks out Taehee, the one they were calling chubby. And this is such a sweet interaction.
He renewed my faith in the fact that in this show there can be... obviously, KyungSeok and WooYoung are not included in that because they've already been stellar this whole time. Yeah. But he, renewed the faith that there can be, some good in this department, because clearly this department has a lot of,
some issues.
There's a lot going on. But yeah, he was like, no, I don't want you to change. He's like, there's guys like me who think that, girls that look like you are really cute.
But he even goes on to say it's not just your looks either. It's your personality. I think you're very sweet. And honestly, that's all any girl really wants is for them, for a guy to just accept the whole package.
Yes.
I want to be seen and appreciated by someone in my entirety. I want to be called pretty, but I also want to be called kind and compassionate and smart. I want to be all of those things to you.
I want to be
not just a pretty
rounded
face.
Person.
Yeah.
Personality, characteristics, and he was so sweet. Kind of fell for him a little bit.
Faith restored. So Hye-sung and MiRae, they find some common ground.
A little bit more than some.
Yeah.
They full on are besties now. Bestie energy has begun.
It's great for MiRae to have a voice of reason in her life that is older, that she can look to as a mentor.
Yep.
Both personally and professionally.
Yeah.
And watch how she has navigated things, because you can hear your best friend who's on the same level as you say the same things over and over again, and at some point it's just this echoes
in
honestly,
the void. It's like a fly just being and you're just okay, whatever.
It kind of loses its weight. But for someone who has success and status and age on you, honestly.
It means so much more.
It does. Listen to your elders. And honestly, this is not all of them, but there are a lot of people who have age on you that have a lot to offer. I'm really afraid
that everything we've said has not been...
Oh my gosh, thank goodness. Thank you.
Praise the Lord.
All right, the adrenaline I just felt from that. I'm sorry.
Yes, listen to people who are there for you and have your best interests in mind and at heart, because it means so much more.
Even if what they have to say is hard to hear.
Yeah.
Those are the best times to just shut up and listen.
Yeah.
The hardest times to shut up and listen.
Hardest time to shut up and listen.
But the best.
I have several that I'm like, I look back now and go, yeah, I'm glad that I listened to what you had to say, because if I had gone with this life decision that I thought I wanted, I would be devastated and heartbroken. Mm-hmm. And that's not what they want. And
it's better to be devastated and heartbroken in that moment.
Yeah. Than
to go down a path where you're going to be living in a world of hurt.
Yeah, for a long time. Mm-hmm. Maybe the rest of your life. But I love this interaction because Hye-sung gets to know her son a little bit more, of like through the eyes of somebody who knew him at a, middle school age, and then knows him now, and they're kind of like they're friends-ish now, but like they knew each other then.
Right.
But we finally get MiRae's telling her this, like, I know you. Like, I know who you are. You saved my life. Mm-hmm. And, telling her, like, you made a huge difference in my life. And it, one of the things that, because you get the flashback to Hye-sung actually, like, pulling young MiRae down from MiRae making a very, very dangerous decision that would have ended her life, and telling her, no matter what they say, you are the most precious person to yourself. And I was just like...
I love that.
Ugh.
I love that what she says on the bridge, where MiRae is like, they're basically all just so cruel to me because of my looks. And Hye-sung's response to that is, that must be so hard. She does not belittle her struggle. Mm-mm. She validates it.
Yeah.
And then she says, your life is worth living regardless of what they say. It's so good. Much like the price of a sub sandwich, being kind to people is free. And
it doesn't take anything.
The impact is unfathomable.
Yeah, that was... I think one of the most impactful scenes so far of the show for me. Mm-hmm. Just because it was, one, she's finally, like... I mean, obviously her best friend, HyunJung, knows about this. Right. Knows that this is the woman that saved her life. But, like, to actually talk to that woman and be like, no, you saved my life, and this is how you saved my life. Mm-hmm. But then of hearing of her life now, of, like, you know what, I was born pretty. I had the world at my feet. Life actually isn't any easier that way.
It's complicated in a different way.
Matter. And then I loved about it, though, is, in the present day, she even asks me, like, are you okay now?
Yeah. Like,
are you okay? Like,
and she's like, no.
I'm not.
I'm really not. No one's asked me this yet.
Thanks for asking so much right now.
But I like that she says, basically, in a nutshell, she learned that your good looks don't actually earn people's respect. Mm-hmm. Nor did it make her a person of substance. Because she also was like, I liked to hear the compliments.
Yeah.
I was willing to give my time to anyone who was going to shower me in that. Mm-hmm. And that's how I ended up with my ex-husband.
Right. And obviously that didn't end well.
Which we don't really know why, but parting thought on this topic, they never touch the ice cream and it never melts. Movie magic.
Movie magic.
I noticed the stupid thing is because this is like my 10th time watching the show.
I did not notice that.
It's okay.
I watched it for the first time today.
Really not that big of a deal. Reconciliation. But first they have the text conversation.
Oh, yes.
Amongst the girls.
The girls
Group
getting
chat.
ready for the... Man. Sometimes group chats are great. Sometimes I just try to leave them because I don't want the constant notifications.
No, snooze.
But I would want to be part of that group chat. That was fabulous.
They're
all of them.
So funny. And
I'm
they're
not going back today.
They're just like wondering how they're going to accomplish anything the next day if none of them show up for the event. But it just goes to show you that men and women truly complement one another so well.
You need both.
You need both. Maybe not in a miniskirt. Maybe give her some jeans. Or
Can
some
do just
sweatpants.
as much, if not more.
She's functional in pants, trust me.
We prefer them.
Although I do love a good swoosh of a skirt.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, I'm with you on that now. Yeah. So that was... I really enjoyed. I was like, I want to be part of that group chat. That would be...
It would be great to be a fly on a wall.
Very entertaining. MiRae and HyunJung actually have a really good conversation of HyunJung just, again, being the best friend ever.
Mm-hmm.
And being like, this... I think Sua instigated this entire situation that you just had to go through, because if you look at the timestamps, she commented first.
Yep.
And then he did a little bit later. And in his profile... shows where he went to school, and so they're just like,
I love the fact that I've got to stop saying I love that. It's my new like. Anyway, the fact that MiRae tries to like brush this off outwardly to HyunJung because she realizes how psycho this whole scenario sounds. She's
Yeah.
like, no, that's probably not what happened, but she's thinking about it and she's, yeah, that is exactly what happened, isn't it?
That was the truth.
Mm-hmm. And now she's suddenly questioning the entire nature of their relationship. This girl she trusted and saw as beautiful and kind and caring is like out to get her in
Vicious.
a very, very scary sort of stalker level way.
Yeah, but at least she's thinking about it now.
Yeah. Good friends, man. Can't replace those.
You need them.
Podcast with them.
Talk about your favorite subjects with them.
Make food.
Stuff yourself with K-barbecue.
So much food.
Oh, I loved MiRae's parents. Her dad is so like ready to go see his daughter, and I love the amount of food that they brought.
Yes.
That was beautiful.
That is a mother's love.
Yeah. I wanted her to cook for me too. It looked so good.
Also, the fresh cream cakes in Korea. I had one for my birthday. We had one for our year celebration from Paris Baguette.
100 days.
What did I say?
1 year. We're almost there.
Anyway.
Regardless, it's so good.
The cake is really good. We should go get another one.
Okay. I'm so in.
Oh.
What was kind of... I could see where it was coming from, but for her dad, Taeshi still has a hard time looking at her.
Yeah.
Because he's like, that is my daughter, but that does not look like my daughter that I would die for.
And it reminds him of the hurt still, as it would. I mean, you don't just get over these things
No.
overnight.
But I loved that HyunJung's like, you guys didn't take any pictures together.
Mm-hmm.
And just did a whole little photo shoot, and it kind of pained me a little bit. For the very last picture is her dad riding on her back.
I mean, she's like 3 feet taller than he
I
is.
know.
Yeah. Maybe it was a thing.
It was a thing. But it was cute to just be like, okay, like, family bonding. Like, we're working through things. Everything's going to be okay now.
Yeah. And she probably was never that enthusiastic about taking pictures before.
Well, yeah, she wasn't, because there was this scene in whatever, episode 3 or whatever, where he grabs the picture of his daughter after the ceremony, and it flashes back to her being like, Dad, I really don't want to take my picture.
Right. Even in private, she was
Even in private.
not interested. But when they're walking up the steps to get to the apartment, and then
WooYoung.
I love how Taeshik is just like marching up the stairs. He's got toilet paper in one hand and a cake in another. And here comes his wife carrying a bajillion dishes of food in 2 bags on each arm. She is huffing and puffing. And she's like, maybe we should have just whatever. And he goes, no, we're almost there. And then WooYoung stops and asks if they need help. Mm-hmm. And Taeshik goes, we're fine, holding the cake and the toilet paper. And his wife looks at him like, how dare you?
I will kick you.
But WooYoung is like, I'll just help. It's okay.
I got you.
Yeah.
That just proves that he is just a genuinely good guy.
Yeah.
All the time.
It was just the icing on the cake that this happens to be MiRae's parents.
Mm-hmm. But they don't know that yet.
Yes. But now let's get into WooYoung, the protector.
Oh, that was
beautiful. Maybe
Chef's kiss.
Maybe this was the second most satisfying.
That was Chef's kiss.
Really, truly was.
Because he's moving in. He's unpacking his house, and gets a notification for like the event board or like whatever from the festival of like pictures of the night before, and he sees the outfits that the girls are in, and he just goes, what is this?
Teacher mode.
Like, I think, doesn't he even make the comment of like, I should not have left.
Should not have left them to their own devices. This is what happens when Dad leaves.
Step away. Yeah. When Dad has to go do something else.
He shows up in the chemistry department that day. And he on them.
But right before he walks in, the girls are getting their revenge.
Yes, they are.
It was so nice. Because the guys have to wear these t-shirts that have like
abs,
like a torso of like a really, really handsome chiseled body. And they're just like, isn't this too much? And they're just like, well, if you actually looked like that, you wouldn't have to wear the shirt.
Beautiful.
True. So that alone was pretty great of them just being like, you want to play this game?
Yes.
You can listen to us make comments about you then.
Right.
But then for WooYoung to walk in and be like, what is going on?
Well, and he even asks them, he's like, did these girls agree to wear this, or did you tell them to? Mm-hmm. And the other girls in the room are like, they didn't. They told us to. And WooYoung is the only person in the show to get the appropriate level of angry within an appropriate amount of time.
Yes.
And he addresses it immediately and sternly. Go Young. It also doesn't hurt that MiRae was the one being exploited. Kind of lit the fire under him a little bit.
But regardless,
everybody just hems and haws, and they're like, I don't want to rock the boat. And he's just like, no, you're idiots. Stop being idiots.
Well, and he even tells the girls, don't get me wrong, I'm totally on the girls' side for this, of like, you guys want to be dumb, you can wear stupid outfits too. Mm-hmm. At least yours doesn't make you feel bad about yourself in exposing you the way that you've exposed the girls. But he even looks at them and he's like, that was the best you came up with.
Yeah.
Like, really? You're showing your maturity level is exactly the same.
Go back to high school if you want to play these games.
Right. And, he was very, very satisfied.
It's got our vote.
Yes, absolutely does.
Getting some fodder for the second lead syndrome.
Oh, yeah. I had that for him, like, from...
from day one.
Scene one that he was in, but I love him as an actor.
Yeah, he's good.
So
it's the festival night too.
Yeah. And again, HyunJung being just the best friend, telling MiRae, just go have fun. But she tries to be like, like, I want you to make sure you're not alone. Mm-hmm. Because you just had to deal with nonsense.
Digging up some childhood trauma.
Everybody loves to do that. That's just a casual Friday night.
But I love how conscientious she is of, like, MiRae's well-being.
all the time.
She's like, hey, don't think about it too hard. But then she's also, like, worried. Like, hey, I'm watching you for signs of distress here.
And being like, hey, you have your friends that, you know, that I know that are decent people. And, you know, she leaves, and then Sua, of course.
With the false concern.
Are you okay? I will be after I smack you. Like, come on, girl. But the fact that MiRae stands up to her in this moment, like, immediately, like, did you not see his profile? Because I saw that you talked to him.
Right.
Like, she has the receipts, girlfriend. She can prove that you reached out. And the stumbling Sua goes through to try and cover up, like, oh, maybe I did. I'm not really sure if I was paying that much attention. The look
gaslighting her.
Yeah, but the look on MiRae's face was just like, do you think I am that stupid? Still? I mean, maybe when we first met I was, but I don't know about now.
Yeah. But then Jihyo shows up and is showing off the photos that the other girls have taken of the Sunbaes in the shirt. And while Sua and Jihyo are, like, giggling over this, the look that MiRae gives to Sua is like, what are you trying to accomplish here? Because she's decided she's not going to just be a doormat anymore.
Yes, finally.
And you can see it in her face, where she's kind of questioning this girl's sanity, because it just seems like a lot of effort to go through to put someone through this that you didn't even know, that has literally done nothing but be nice to you this whole time.
Yeah, and you're going out of your way to try and
ruin her life in a not overstated sort of way.
True. But we see Taehee go into the
chemistry department,
and this is
Taeyong.
Okay. There's a lot of Tae names in here.
And a lot of repeated from last season. Taehee, Taeyong.
But they're talking, and she, you know, asks if he is okay, because he's like, I messed up as class president. I should have not let them talk to you that way. Like, he's licking his wounds from WooYoung that are well deserved.
At least he's reflecting.
Right. That's what I say. He's given us a little bit of restored faith here. But the moment that they realize that the door is locked,
it's hilarious.
Was great, because they're both just like, get somebody to open it, and it locks from the inside.
And you just know they're gonna go full circle with this with the MCs somehow, because they spent way too much time on this.
It's like one of those tropes of just like,
oh yeah,
a little bit, like, one thing that really isn't that, like,
you either get stuck in the same hotel room because it's rainy outside, or you get locked in a room together in a very extenuating circumstance.
It just, you never know. And
but always, you do.
it just happens, and either your phone is dead, neither of you have a phone, only one of you have a phone. There's no charger. The electricity goes out. Like, it's just a thing. All the kid dramas.
And maybe you're destined to, like, pull a mythical sword out of somebody's chest. I don't know. Weird.
Or hit just swing a cherry blossom branch and knock a hat off of somebody that's invisible.
Maybe you and a stranger that you don't remember were locked in a room for a house for like a week, and you don't remember it.
Anyway, I feel like we have some
strong writing, guys.
I feel like we have some unresolved
bitterness
feelings about this.
Sua has a habit of dragging MiRae into situations that she would rather not be in.
Always.
First, the interaction with YongCheol. And now this terribly awkward, like, double dating game which to Suwa was just another chance to be chosen over MiRae.
Mm-hmm.
Like, flaunt that in her face.
Look how pretty I am.
And she is all smiles about this whole scenario with those two guys until KyungSeok arrives and takes a seat. And the look on the other two guys' faces when he sits down is like, well, we're screwed.
They just go,
yeah.
crap.
The face genius has arrived. But then KyungSeok is just like...
Well, because they're like, okay, you know, you're going to take 10 minutes or whatever, and you're going to talk, and then you can decide if you want to couple up after that. And he just goes, can't I just point to who I want?
Yes, you can.
Yeah.
It is allowed.
And she's like, oh, okay. And he just goes,
that one.
her. I want her.
So romantic. Sua's face.
Oh, it was... Again, we needed that.
Yeah.
After.
Satisfying.
Because he's pointing to MiRae.
Mm-hmm.
And that's who he wants. And Sua's just like...
And MiRae is somehow shocked by this. Girl's naive. Just a little.
And I wonder if part of it also is just the situation that she's in of like, I didn't want to be sitting in this game. And then...
Yeah.
Like, why?
And let's face it, both MiRae and KyungSeok are both a little bit bad at friends or social situations. Neither of them really had much of a social life growing up.
So yeah, communicating with other people is...
There's a point and there's a gawk. And it
gawk, I like that.
Stays there.
But of course, again, another fun little trope is water being spilled.
Mm-hmm.
And of course she's wearing a white shirt.
It felt unnecessary.
But you know, they're drum roll on the table, water all over, stand up and scream, and then, oh, hey, there's extra shirts in the chemistry department. And so MiRae's like about to go, and KyungSeok and Suwa both are like, I'll go with you.
Well, KyungSeok stands up, and then Suwa like meerkats up, like, no, let's go.
I should be the friend to go with you.
Mm-hmm. She like panics at the notion of those two being alone together for some reason, but
he doesn't like you. He's never shown interest in you,
and he's made that very clear.
He's called you out every single time.
It's not just that he doesn't like you, it's that he has disdain for you.
Like severe.
I'm so glad though that MiRae chose to go with KyungSeok because she doesn't trust Suwa
to do something.
I think she would have refused KyungSeok if Suwa hadn't been there. But the fact that she was, she's like, I'll go with KyungSeok because I also don't want him to stay alone with you.
Yeah, because what are you gonna do to him?
Yeah.
Not a jealousy thing.
Like in a friend way.
Yeah. It wouldn't be a jealousy thing of like, oh, you're gonna take the guy that I like. It'd be like, you would do something because you've already done it to me.
Yeah, you're scary. But that wind up from KyungSeok when they go to run up the hill with MiRae, hilarious. Do you remember what I'm talking about? Where he's like, do you want to run? And she's like, okay. And she starts to run, which her run is awkward in and of itself.
Right.
But then he's like...
Again, I really think he was just doing the best with what he was given as a character. That was...
I'm not saying it was dramatic. Maybe it was a steep hill. I don't know. It made me chortle.
You just wouldn't find me running up a hill.
Running? What is that?
I don't know.
I'm not familiar. Yeah, I shouldn't be making fun when I don't even run.
That just isn't gonna happen.
Yeah. But this brings us to our locked door.
Our locked door. Well, first we have HyunJung is running her booth.
Mm-hmm.
And the psychology department is doing like read your fortune type of thing, and so they have these cards that are laid out. You pick one, and then they read out of this book of like, okay, this is what... Yeah. We're going to have this little quiz, and according to whatever you pick, this is what it's going to relate to. And WooYoung actually stops by, and he's like, can I have a go? And she's like, yeah, sure, sit down.
Mm-hmm.
And so whatever card, he picks, they go through the test, and it's like a test of sweaters. Like, what sweater are you going to choose? And he chooses...
one.
Yeah, he chooses, like, a solid color sweater.
Oh.
So we have that one. And according to the test, he just wants, like, a simple, uncomplicated love.
Which tracks.
But she tells him, it could be seen as hypocritical because it's going to be, like, you have to figure out how to be honest with your own feelings before you can be honest with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And he just sits there and he's like, no, I am honest. And then he, like, chuckles and goes, no, I'm not. I've been so reserved. And then looks up, and just the look on his face, his face just falls.
Mm-hmm.
My assumption is he's seeing MiRae and KyungSeok walking together, maybe dramatically running up the hill. But he's just like, he finally admits that there's somebody that I like in my department. And I kind of feel bad for HyunJung in the moment, because her face just kind of goes, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. I guess have a good night.
I just feel like I like the friendship between these two. Mm-hmm. And HyunJung is always really sincere with him. And even though it is because she's interested, it has not been forceful or uncalled for or inappropriate in any way that I feel. And he's just been kind to her because that's who he is as a human. And he's trusted her as a friend. Like, they have a friendship, I think. Right. But her hopes being dashed by his confession to liking someone else, it's so relatable. Because we have all been there.
Oh, yeah.
And he is such a nice guy that I don't think he's ever stopped to consider the fact that maybe his being kind to her has been misleading. And I don't think that he's led her on per se, but I think it's been misleading to HyunJung.
Right. For her to be like, look how kind he is.
Right.
That's what I want.
Yeah, exactly. But he's not doing the Suwa thing where he's like, I'm going to reel you in and then throw you back out and then reel you in and throw you back out kind of thing.
Yeah, I agree.
I just think that they're two honest people that it's unrequited. It just sucks. But they did that scene well. It really hurts.
Oh.
So now the locked door.
Now we're at the locked door.
Has come full circle. Well, I called it a locked door because technically I was like, well, he's a locked door for HyunJung. And then we have a locked door, like an actual locked door. Maybe I got a little too metaphorical. I'm sorry.
Okay, I see where you were going with that.
It's okay. You don't want to operate on this line of thinking. It's really scary.
I translate a lot.
Of course, MiRae needs to change shirts. Thank you, K-drama tropes of the 21st century.
Mm-hmm. The best part about it is she picks up one of the muscle shirts and throws it. She's just like, no. Me? Yes. I would find it and I would be like, that's hilarious, and I would put it on.
Yeah, but she like held it up to her body and then was like, oh yeah.
No. I'd be like, no, I probably would have done that and been like, it's fine, and just put it on. But I don't care.
No,
I'm a weird person.
Just stop that thought. We're done. Anyway, Suwa has such a sour attitude back at the blind dating thing now that she has, in her mind, been made a fool of by MiRae, leaving with KyungSeok. Like, who cares? Nobody cares. But she gets selected by both of the guys sitting at the table and doesn't say a word, doesn't make eye contact.
Yeah, doesn't participate at all.
And just walks away. And poor Jihyo, she like points at somebody and is trying to play the game, and it's just like the air is sucked out of the room. They're outside.
Right.
On the other hand, I kind of don't feel bad for Jihyo because she's sort of parasite for attention.
Yeah, I would agree.
Like yeah.
Yeah.
Find better friends. Be a better friend.
Be a better friend, honestly.
But there is a missing phone that starts to ring. And the lady's like, hey, did you forget your phone? They're like, no, that's KyungSeok's. And you know that this has to come back around in the loop somehow.
Right.
But Ji-hyo is like trying to be lighthearted about the whole KyungSeok interaction. But Sua is obviously taking it very personally.
Yeah, well, Ji-hyo like already has it made up in her mind that
those two are a thing.
Yeah, and KyungSeok are a couple.
To be fair, Sua has painted it that way.
Right, but like Ji-hyo's taken it kind of farther.
Mm-hmm.
Because at least there's aspects where Sua's just like, oh no, that's not actually happening. Like, she'll try to play it off.
Mm-hmm.
At least she'll try to do that.
To be modest.
Right.
Fake modest.
But Ji-hyo is just like, no, you guys are a thing. Do you think he's doing that to you to make you jealous? And, like, Sua, like, gets mad and basically is just like, we aren't a thing.
Mm-hmm.
First honest thing you've said this entire show, girlfriend, other than your name.
Is it? Just kidding.
I don't know. Are you going to totally, like,
No.
blow up?
Am I?
I don't know.
This is fun. Sweet Revenge. Also has Chano.
I think we should just watch that to see if it's any good, but also maybe...
I've seen it.
Okay.
I've seen the first one and the second one.
Is it a movie or...
The series.
a series?
Mm-hmm.
Recommend?
It's very middle school. But it's cute. The first one's cute.
Okay.
Second one's a little weird.
Okay.
Yeah. If you have time.
If I have time, I watch them constantly, so I might as
Chanu plays the jealous.
well. Ooh. Okay.
Jealous second lead. It's very cute.
Okay, I'm in.
Oh, I have a scene I have to show you later.
Okay.
It's very cute. It'll get you to watch the show. Okay.
He's in it. That's the only reason I need to watch the show.
That was my first exposure to him. Was in that show.
Was Sweet Revenge?
Mm-hmm. And then I looked him up. We're derailing.
We
Sorry.
are so hard. We're almost done, too.
We're almost
Literally,
done.
there's
like 2 paragraphs left in our notes. But yeah, Ji-hyo is just a little bit clueless. She thinks it's this whole like cat and mouse sort of thing going on with Sua and KyungSeok, and it's not. And Sua's finally like, shut up.
Stop it.
You're making me angry.
Cut my angry eyebrows.
Back in the chem department, the t-shirt situation is just kind of absurd.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get it's super freaking awkward to have to change a shirt in front of a guy, especially if it's a guy you like. But she was just kind of being ridiculous about it, in my opinion. Also, if it's that big of a deal, just take 2 of the other shirts, put one over your wet t-shirt so you're not exposed, and then once you get out of the room, because it's already locked, right, then you just switch both of those wet shirts out for the new shirt.
The other dry one.
It's not that big of a deal.
But also, was like... I mean, the whole reason that they figured out that the door was locked, he's like, oh, I'll leave.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the door's locked. Well, now we're stuck.
Yeah.
And then he very, very clearly turns around, walks, and,
Stares out the window.
And is like, okay, just let me know.
Mm-hmm. He's being very polite about it.
Super gentlemanly about it, too. Of just like, I'm not going to look. I'm not going to make you feel uncomfortable. Like, there's obviously ways for you to, like, get in a corner and be hidden so you're not...
Well, and if you can see, like, in that scene, that's actually a partitioned wall. Like, there's a glass wall between the 2 of them. So he's technically in another room. Yes, it's glass, but he's doing the best he can to create distance between the 2 of you so that you can just go do your thing. That would... I mean, there's ways to change shirts without actually ever exposing yourself. I've done it. I'm sure you've done it.
Oh,
you just pull the other shirt over and you do a little contortion.
Yeah, a little dance. And
yeah, and then...
It's not that hard.
It's a more conservative culture, I get it, but
also
there were many options.
But the wall where she was at, like, was a solid wall. And she gets really creepy about it, honestly.
Yeah, she does
She gets
really
creepy because she's, like, holding the shirt like this. And then just, like, staring out the other, like, the window.
At him.
At him, just staring. And he's like, are you done yet? She goes, haven't even started. Oh, calm down. It's not that big of a deal.
No, it's truly not. And I'm even kind of a prude about, like, hanging out all the, you know what I mean? I'm like, just change the shirt. He's clearly not looking. If you're that worried about it, make him stick a shirt over his head. I don't know.
Yeah.
There were options.
Stand
there were
there, cover your
options.
eyes.
Maybe it's because I'm a toddler mom and I'm like, I constantly have to take clothes on and off of people all day. We're potty training. It's fine. Yeah. I mean, I'm of the opinion that, like, yeah, keep it covered, but this was one of those situations where clearly there was enough boundary to
not be
make it appropriate.
awkward.
Anywho.
End of episode.
That was episode 6. Character of the hour.
So I have characters. Would be Hyesung and HyunJung.
Ooh, I like it. I like it a
Hyesung,
lot.
because I mean, she's already trying really hard to try and get to know her kids from a distance, because that's all she's able to do right now. But she's so good for MiRae. She's a good mentor. She's a good older friend to have.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, when MiRae comes clean, I was like, yeah, I got surgery. She just goes, are you okay? Like, she's checking in on her now, even though she didn't know that that was the girl that she had saved her life. That doesn't change from the day that she saved her life to
And
today.
even though they've like established that MiRae can't necessarily give her the things that she was asking for and trying to create that relationship with KyungSeok, she's still like, let's get together anyway.
Yeah.
I still want to see
still
you.
be friends. And so yeah, I actually really am appreciating her character a lot right now. And then HyunJung, she's just the bestest friend ever. I mean, I do feel bad that
We burst the bubble.
we you done messed up at Aaron for the rap. But like, finding out that Sua is that terrible of a person, doing the pictures with MiRae's family and being like, no, like, let's be in on this together. Or at the festival of, I want you to have fun tonight. That's the only thing you need to worry about, is just going, having fun. Don't worry about anything else. Like, she truly is just
A+. Human being. You know how, like, in K-pop groups, they have the people that are like, I'm the cutie. I'm the mood maker. She's the mood maker.
Absolutely.
She sets the tone. And she's like, you're in a bad mood. We're going to bring you up to here today.
Come up here now.
Rising tide lifts all ships.
So yes, that is my characters of the hour.
I like it. That's great. Mine is WooYoung Sunbae.
Yeah, he's a strong contender.
He is just a good dude.
Yeah.
Like, he takes care of everyone in the department. It doesn't matter who it is. Like, he took care of when she was having problems with Chanu. And is like, hey, what's going on? You can tell me these things. That's why I'm here.
That's my job.
Yeah. And I love that he scolds the people that are causing trouble. He's like, sit down, know your place. Stop causing trouble because it annoys me. And you just need to shut up. Like with Chanu.
Yeah.
Or the obnoxious boys.
Right.
And he also offers help without the expectation of anything in return, as we saw with MiRae's parents. Again, there was no hidden motivation there because he didn't know that those were her parents.
Right.
He
just being
helped.
a kind person.
Yeah. And then he uses his status to protect others, and it's not for personal gain or to intimidate. He's just a good dude. I like him.
We like him. He's really cute, too.
That doesn't hurt.
That helps a lot.
Final thoughts.
I kind of told you this earlier. I think this is the first episode that I've actually, like, enjoyed. And it brings more of the charm.
Yes.
And I think I told you, I was like, I can see I don't remember what word I used. But I think it was, like, the charming, the swoon-worthy, like, I can see the appeal of the show now. It only took, to almost halfway through the show.
Like a third.
Yeah, third.
Hey, it's sooner than it was
Sooner
with
than
Bad
Goblin.
and Crazy or Goblin.
Bad and Crazy's so good.
But when you go back and watch it again through that lens, you see a lot more of the appeal of the earlier episodes. Establishing these characters, seeing where they start and where they end.
Right.
I think makes the beginning of the show a lot easier to watch once you've been through it once.
Yeah. I can see that now, at least going through. But there was just satisfying moments in this of it's not just MiRae having to stand up for comments being made. It's people who are truly being wronged are going, you can't do that.
I don't like it.
Knock it off. Hey, do you want a taste of your own medicine? Probably not, because you won't be able to handle it. But then even just people, I mean, WooYoung standing up, and I think you said it perfectly earlier, when he gets the right amount of angry in the right amount of time.
Yeah.
Or has the right reaction.
Right.
Response. And no, it's definitely becoming more enjoyable.
It takes a minute, I'll admit it.
I still cannot stand Sua. And I don't think I ever will. And I'm so sad that there's not going to be any more storyline
I'm sorry.
of HyunJung and the music. But
I just
honestly,
felt like I should break the news to you now. Before we're 2 more episodes in, you're like, where did this go?
Yeah, I would be asking them, like, so when is she going to be hanging out with JunoFlo again?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do we get another mixtape drop soon?
That would be great.
That would be lovely.
So I enjoy that MiRae is figuring things out.
Mm-hmm.
Not everyone is out to get her anymore. She had to learn that lesson, right?
Right.
But sometimes they are.
And we're figuring that out.
Yes, and she has good friends that are helping her figure that out, which is pivotal for her. KyungSeok is also learning how to be a good friend. And like I said before, the guy is just kind of socially awkward. He has never had real friends aside from Yoojin, and I'm pretty sure that was just like a survival tactic on both of their parts,
right.
Where it's like we both came from rich, loveless families. We can be buds.
We can bond over the fact that we have nobody else to talk to.
Exactly. And even then, Yoojin is still a bit of a schmuck sometimes.
Yeah.
But I love that the girls stood up for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't feel like they vilified the boys in this overarching, like, all guys are this way, all boys are idiots kind of narrative, but rather that the idiot boys needed to be taken down a notch and not... It was just reminding everyone that everyone should be able to feel safe in this department and not be made into objects. But the thing that I really enjoy about this show is that those 2 Sunbaes are not done with their character arcs. So while they aren't like major plot lines, there's still more to both of their stories. Like the 2 guys that were being provocative about things. So that even the most minor characters in this show, the ones that we follow, they kind of like ebb and flow with the narrative in their growth. So it's kind of genius, because I really can't think of a single character in this show that doesn't have or that stagnates at any point in their character arc. Okay. Like they all continue to move forward with the plot.
With their plot, okay.
Except maybe Chanwoo, but he kind of already got humbled, so
does he come
but he
back?
also is not done.
Okay, so he does come back.
He does return, yes.
I don't know if I should be nervous about his return at some point or not.
It's all good.
It's all good. See, now you get to do the poker face. Just...
But I do. I love that the whole show, people are constantly growing.
Well, and it's been very interesting to see, well, just because there's an insane amount of people in this show. There's so many characters.
There are truly
I literally am like, I don't know your name. Because I know I've seen you like throughout the show.
Yeah.
But, like,
yep.
You've had 2 lines until right now, and I don't know your name. But it's like each episode has, like, they each have their own time for different episodes of, I don't want to say, like, importance, but of, like, when their characters are brought forward.
Right, yeah.
And that's a unique thing that doesn't happen in very many shows. Granted, not very many shows have
such large casts.
This many people as...
basically secondary characters, not background characters.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's what's fun about this show, is that there's all these little side quests. Like if you're a gamer,
we do like a good side quest.
You do all the side quests.
Sometimes they're easier.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're so much harder.
But yeah, no, every single side character I think of grows up. So.
Okay, well that's
yeah,
even more encouraging.
It's a good show. I know it's kind of a goofy one, but I love it.
We like goofy, though.
We do. We're cheesy. We're cheeseballs.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right, episode 6.
Okay. Bye.
Like what you're hearing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you don't miss out on any new episodes. We'd love to connect with you on our Instagram at The KDrama Show. For more behind-the-scenes content, be sure to check out our YouTube channel. Links are in the show notes. Thanks for hanging out with us on The KDrama Show with Ashley and Kim, and we'll see you next time.